everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Urge Artifact. Today we are going to be taking a look at Volume 2 of the Elden Ring Books of Knowledge Strategy Guides. This is titled The Shards of Shattering and came out in late 2023, with the first book coming out shortly after the Elden Ring game came out. Now, I did a video on the first book and it was really nice and impressive. And in addition to these being strategy guides, they're also just very nice collector's items. This book, like the last book, has over 500 pages. With the DLC Shadow of the Erdtree coming out, I figured this was the perfect time to do a little review of the book. And for many of you, you still might not have seen or know that these books are out there. So let's not waste any more time and let's take a look through this. Alright, so here's the book. So first thing is we're going to remove the plastic. So the book is 512 pages, and this is, the publisher company is Future Press, just like the last one, and this book costs $49.99. First thing we can notice is we have Queen Marika on the cover of this book, and on the last book, which I actually have right here, we had Ronnie. Very similar designs, and you can see the Volume 1 and Volume 2. So if you have video game collectibles and you have a bookshelf, I think these will look really nice. So now opening the book and taking a look through. Okay, so the first thing is we have a couple pieces of artwork. Okay, here's a Site of Grace. Here's a picture of the crumbling Farah Mazula, Stormvale, and the Volcano Manor. Alright, and looking through, we go through the introduction and the table of contents. So this book, Volume 2, focuses on a combat guide, bestiary, armaments and equipment, and extras. Now the extras read as it's a little bit more strategic and getting trophies and creating builds. So that's good too for a strategy guide. Alright, now going through the book just so you have a look. Just like the last one, there's going to be nice artwork, there's going to be details on everything in here. So even if you're a top level Elden Ring gamer, I think this is going to give you a lot of just enjoyable reading and information. If you're somebody like me, which I would not consider myself a top tier Elden Ring gamer, there's definitely things to pick up. And if you're gearing up for the DLC like I am, it'll be a nice refresher. So if we're going through here in the combat guide, I'm sure there's plenty that could be learned. I know for me, I was very simple with the strength build and was able to go through the whole game and do pretty well with that, but I'd love to learn and maybe do a second playthrough with a magic user or maybe a bleed fighter or something like that. You know, so a lot of really good stuff in here, and it even looks like there's some PvP combat stuff, which is something I particularly have never played. Then you get to the section, the bestiary. I think this is going to be a real fun section to go through because it says that it shows all the stats of all the enemies. So there's a lot of cool YouTube videos on this, but to have the stats and their skills and things like that for each enemy will be very informative. But we're just going to kind of skim through because I think there is going to be a lot in here. Here's the Tree Sentinel, where you first learn that you are not going to survive long in this game and you have to come to terms with it. The Burial Watchdogs, which are probably up there with my least favorite enemies to face in the game. Very interesting, especially down here looking at their hit points and stuff like that. I'm sure this information you get other places, but it's just really nice to be able to browse through, look at the bosses, look at the enemies, see everything about them, and read through this book. And then as we get, you know, approximately halfway through the book, it comes to armaments and equipment. So these are all going to be the items and weapons that you can get for your character. And, you know, everything's like very small in here, so I'm not going to take time going through, but there's the categories of each weapon. So thrusting swords, curved great swords. So you can really kind of compartmentalize what you're looking to find and what you're really interested in. You have the entire armor sets. And then the book just keeps going with spells and so forth. So basically anything you can find is in here. And then the final chapter of the book, chapter 4, is the extras section. So mentioned, like there being some go-to advanced builds and stuff like that. So you can see dexterity builds and, what the optimal loadout is, strength builds, and you're pretty much going to have everything in here, which I'm sure many of you know already, and many of you probably have come up with other builds, maybe even better builds than these. But this is really cool as like a go-to, because if you're playing a second playthrough or something like that, and you're just like, I want my character to be like so-and-so, you could probably browse through here and just find the exact build you're looking for. Alright, so there you have it. The Elden Ring Books of Knowledge Volume 2, a perfect book to prep for the DLC Shadow of the Erdtree, or if you're just a collector. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for upcoming videos from the Urge Artifacts. And as always, keep on collecting, keep on having fun, and have a great day.